Hi, this is Dorothy Rowe, and this video is about manifesting wealth. Love is the commodity of the universe. Every being, every creature, every expression of intelligence appreciates and values love. But love is very abstract, and wealth is very concrete. So this video is about the path between the flow of love and the actual manifested form of wealth, money. The first law of nature, or the first principle that we need to look at, is that anything that is abstract, that is in a conceptual state, needs to have a lot of energy behind it in order to manifest to a material state. So there's a law of nature that is associated with that increase or expansion or multiplication of energy. And this has to do with the nature of consciousness to fold back on itself. There's an ancient saying from Vedic literature, folding back on myself, I create again and again. And what happens technically is that aspect of, or that quality of intelligence or being, in this case love, folds in on itself over and over, and as it does so, it creates layer upon layer upon layer of its own nature, and that brings forth a large enough wave of that expression to make its way out to the surface of life and to manifest. So we want to start with the principle of love and know that ideally wealth would be generated by your love moving through you, through behaviors and activities that you love to do, out into the world. And as that love that you have moves through your behaviors and activities, it does so in such a way that it provides value for other people. So that's the aim and goal here. We need to start by looking at the quality of love, and I'm having a feeling that it would be good to actually start by looking into everyone's heart and make sure that everyone who's watching this video who has an intention that they would like to produce wealth has these set up internally, organized in such a way as to allow them to have maximum success in that process. So I'm just looking into the heart chakras of everybody watching the video, and I'm seeing thousands, and I'm seeing if we can extend that to tens of thousands. Hundreds of thousands. There we go. Okay, so this feels like a good, nice number, and the heart chakras. And what we're doing here is looking into the causal level of everyone's physiology. If you've watched any of my other videos, the range of expression of human intelligence is from absolute, abstract, unmanifest level to the most concrete manifest level. And the causal level, and that's divided, that range is divided, so the causal level is about the second level up from the very deepest. There are organs in the causal body. And in the very deepest, most abstract level of the causal body, the heart of the causal body, there are three organs that act as coordinators for the flow of love between individuality and divinity. So one of them allows the love of the divine to flow to you. One of them allows your love to flow to the divine. And the other one's like a regulator or a switch. And that is the spot that we're looking at, is that regulator switch. And what that's doing, the interesting thing about that regulator switch organ is it's really an integrative organ. That's what it really is its role is to create a sort of think of a musical or a harmonic integration between your love and the love of the divine, so that it is perfectly experienced as perfectly natural and perfectly comfortable to know that there is no difference between the love of God, the love of the highest, most exalted intelligence in the creation, the overseeing, overarching creative energy of the whole universe, and who we are. What part of creation is not God? It's all God, right? We are God. Everything is God. So right there. And what we're doing is that's just opening up and the integration and using love as the conduit or the vehicle to create a connection between oneself as an individual and one's understanding or experience of the divinity of all creation. And I'm just feeling that moving around in there, and gratitude. And it looks like the ancestors need a little bit of support with that as well. So we're going and doing a little bit of ancestral work here, going back for most people about an average of 8 generations. And we're offering to the ancestors that they also may have the same balancing, integrating, and harmonizing of these 3 organs in the heart of the causal body. And as we do that, the ancestors also receive an offering of, or homage, an offering of gratitude, because they are so ever present and constantly adoring each one of us as the expression of their own immortality. Ancestors are amazing. And I'm seeing kind of a waking up in that ancestral archive, which is very beautiful and very sort of sweet and satisfying. And as that happens, their gratitude also flows to the divine more freely and more frictionlessly, and that results in blessings coming from the divinity back to you, back to them. We know that when the ancestors evolve, that means our DNA is evolving, and that's always a good thing. Good. There are also meridians that run from the causal level of the physiology into the heart area of the body. And so those meridians are being cleared of doubt, fear, 6 aspects, which are small self, small I, identification, personality, intellect, and ego. Basically our small individual self, which is kind of an illusory structure anyway. We really are points in the great star of all that is. There we go. And I'm just feeling a lot of really beautiful, sweet, light, yummy energy flowing from that causal level of the physiology all the way through to the more manifest level of the physiology. We need to talk for just a moment about how to magnify the love even more through these channels. Now these channels have been opened. And the principle here is to know that the love that you are and the love that you create is part and parcel of the great ocean of divine intelligence, which is all through and around us. We are made of that. And what I offer to you as something you can do to support your ability to produce wealth is to know that the grace of the divine, we can call it grace, the mechanics by which our love moves, multiplies itself, folds in on itself. That means, of course, our ability to love ourself, right? So it folds in on itself again, and it rises up through these clear channels, now clear channels from the deepest level of your physiology up through the heart level of the physiology. As it does so, it rises up with energies of enthusiasm and excitement and joy and creativity. Big creative flows come as this love starts to rise up. And this quality of energy gives rise to intellectual understandings of ways that you can utilize the potential of your environment to produce anything that you can produce that's joyful and fun and exciting to produce, that will give rise to a reward from the environment, will give rise to appreciation from the world around you in the form of financial increase. Numbers going up in your bank account. So this mechanic from the deepest level of the being up through its expression, its final expression to the manifest form of financial freedom, the mechanic itself we can think of as the grace of the divine. In some ways, we think of grace as being kind of like a blessing from God, which brings luck or brings good fortune or allows for things to happen that wouldn't otherwise be able to happen. So this is the point for something that you can do to help support this process in yourself. Anytime you have a few moments, quiet moments, where you can close your eyes, if anybody would like to do this right now as you're watching, you're welcome, or do it later. Feel the grace which is within you. Everyone has grace within them. In your causal body, you actually have an organ that produces grace. And know that that grace is present in every particle of creation. And feel your awareness stretch out beyond your physiology, out into the creation, out into the world around you, out into the environment. And feel that same grace which exists within you spontaneously, naturally, as part of your own being. Feel it in the field around you. And know that it is an infinite ocean of grace, of God's grace. An infinite ocean of support and acknowledgement and validation and security and safety and love. And now, feel the range of your being, which includes your physical body, but also the field around you, that field of energy, which is you. And allow that field of energy to just receive. We can close ourselves up and contract, or we can open ourselves up and receive. And just allow the grace, the ocean, the infinite ocean of grace in which you are floating, to just receive and receive and receive, like it's just soaking into you. And know that even one tiny drop of that grace is enough to take care of your financial needs for the whole life, for your whole life. And you're just soaking it in by gallons and gallons and gallons. It is in you. It is around you. It is part of you. It is who you are. You don't escape it. It's the nature of the essence of your being. Everyone is this. And it is always here for you, and it will always help and support you to create as much wealth as you'd like. You will find, as I did, that if you do this exercise for even a few seconds once a day, that over the course of time, the flow of your financial freedom will change and expand, and you will have access to more tools and resources that are useful to you to allow you to gain success in translating your own love and the activities that you enjoy and love into value for other people, for the world, that will come back to you, and may it come back to you infinitely. Come back to you. Every drop of love that you give to the world, may it come back in infinite value back to your soul, back to your being. And may you always be blessed by this. And I wish everyone watching this video total success and joy and happiness in their process. Thank you for joining me.